Hello everyone and welcome back. So today's video is going to be probably the closest to a rant that I'll ever post on this channel, and that is because I just stumbled across a comment that was really upsetting, frustrating, and actually downright offensive to me. And what this was a person who was upset that they got declined for an art trade with a better artist, and they think that people who decline trades from the people who support their art need to get the fuck over themselves. What? This makes me upset on so many levels. The easiest way to explain this is entitlement. Entitlement is the belief that you inherently deserve special treatment. And the reason why I call this entitlement is because this person is automatically assuming that this person owes them art just because person A likes artist B's art. And this is not true. It is the case that nobody owes anyone anything unless previously agreed upon. So I'm going to talk about specifically in the art world for now. Nobody owes anyone art unless you already agreed on a trade where both parties accepted and like one person has finished and then the other person owes them art. Or if you've already agreed on a commission and the person has paid and you don't do refunds, you owe them the art. If there's already that like contractual obligation, that is the only reason why anyone owes you jack shit. The fact that this person thinks that the better artist needs to get the fuck over themselves makes me mad because, for example, this person actually supports me and my art. So this person is saying that if they asked me for a trade and I declined because I don't have time or because I just don't like their art, that they would tell me to get the fuck over myself, that they think I'm being high and mighty for not accepting their art just because they like mine. And I feel like this belief system is basically bullying. They're being like, hey, you have to draw art for me or else you're a shitty human being who needs to be more modest. I definitely understand the disappointment that comes from being declined when you ask for an art trade with someone. We have all been there. Everyone has been declined for an art trade offer. Sometimes it's because the person doesn't have time. Sometimes it's because the person doesn't like your art. And if someone doesn't like your art, that doesn't mean that your art is bad. What it means is that they don't like your art. They don't like your particular style. Maybe they prefer realism and you draw cartoony. Maybe they prefer saturated colors and you draw soft pastels. Maybe they prefer lineless art and you use really thick, fat lines that are black. It doesn't reflect on you as a person or your worth as a person, and you shouldn't think that it does. The other thing is this idea that the artist owes you art because you support them. So what makes you special out of the dozens or hundreds or thousands or tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of other people who also want art from that artist? What makes you more special than them? Nothing. You're deciding that you're being entitled. You're saying that they owe you art ahead of everybody else that they owe. And if you're thinking, oh, well, they owe everybody art for supporting them, no, they don't. One, no, they don't have time for that. And two, no, there was never, you can support someone and they are not under a contractual obligation to make art for you. They appreciate the support. They'll give back sometimes when they can if they really like you or they really like your character or they have a lot of time or they just feel like hosting raffles or giveaways because they want to give back in the fairest way possible. But they don't owe you anything, and it is not fair of you to expect that of anyone, and it's not fair for anyone else to expect that of you either. When I say that nobody, it's not fair for anybody. That includes for you too. This is true both if you are saying that of person A and if person A is doing that to you. Either way, it's not fair. It's not right when anybody does it. So the way that I tried to explain it to this person in terms of being expected to offer any art trade that comes your way because you need to be more humble, the way I explained it was, imagine that you are a professional dancer, or you're running a dance group and you're planning on having this dance, and so you're interviewing 2 different dancers to join your group. Both of the dancers are asking for this exact same price. In this metaphor, this means that they're asking for your art. You're paying the same price no matter who you pick. You're drawing, spending the same amount of time, no matter who you're choosing to join your team or who you're agreeing to trade with. So person A comes up and they do their dance for you and you're really wowed by it. You love how graceful and smooth they are. You're really into their ballroom dance and the way they sweep across the floor and their gown flows around, and they are gorgeous. Person B comes up and you can tell that they're trying so hard, but maybe they're new to ballroom dance and they haven't got the moves down as well lately, or maybe they're doing interpretive jazz and that's not something you really care for, and they're trying and you appreciate that, but it's not really your thing. Why, if you're paying the same price, why would you accept person B over person A when you prefer person A? It doesn't make sense, and it's not fair to expect that the person would choose person B just because person B wants it more or supports them more. Because that's bullshit. You don't know what person A thinks and feels. If someone is deciding between 2 different winners, you can't say I want it more than the other person because you aren't the other person. You don't know that. You don't get to put yourself a step above other people because you think you want it more, because you don't. You don't know. Therefore, it's a non-issue. It's not even part of the judging process. And the other thing that really got me was the attitude about the whole thing. If somebody was being so volatile as to tell me to get the fuck over myself because I didn't accept their trade, I would honestly feel like I dodged a bullet there. I would be glad that I didn't accept the trade in the first place because I wouldn't want to interact with that person. I don't want that person's negativity and entitlement and, frankly, their immaturity to be something that I have to deal with. And yes, it is immature. Yes, it is childish. Disappointment is a natural emotion. It is okay to feel disappointed, but maturity is knowing how to handle those emotions appropriately. Saying that it's that person's fault for not accepting the trade that made you disappointed, that's bullshit. This is something that I'm having to work on too. This is a hard thing to learn, that you can't blame other people for your feelings. But the thing is that everybody needs to come first in their own life, and it is not selfish to believe that. It is a necessary, fundamental truth that you need to be number one in your life. Self-care is the most important thing, and you can't be happy in life without it. So it's unfair to expect someone else to put your needs ahead of theirs, especially when they don't even know you that well. It should be a choice if they get to do that or not, and not an expectation that you've decided to put on them because you like their art and you can't handle the fact that someone doesn't like your art. So again, disappointment is understandable. Being frustrated and sad, that's understandable. And nobody likes being declined, but it's not personal. This person isn't declining you as a person. They're not saying that you're worthless. They're probably implying something like, you've been drawing for 2 months and I've been drawing for 15 years. Our skill levels aren't the same, and if I'm going to spend my time and effort on an art piece, I want something of equal value back. And that is very fair. If someone wants to accept a trade with a person with a lower art quality, that's up to them. And it's okay if they don't want to, as long as they're polite. You know, if they're saying your art is shit, that's really rude of them, but they still shouldn't be expected to accept your art trade. Personally, I accept trades with people of varying skill levels, and that's because for a lot of even novice artists, I find many of them have a very interesting perspective, and I think that's really cool, and I want to see what they'll do with my characters. But I don't feel like that about every artist, and there's definitely some styles that I don't like very much. And it doesn't mean there's something wrong with the style, it just means that I don't like it. Or, for example, if I've spent more than 5 years learning how to do one of my drawings in 2 hours, I don't think it's fair to expect me to accept a trade with someone who's been drawing for a few months and it takes them an hour to do a pencil sketch. Whereas I take 2 hours doing like a fully shaded and colored drawing with accurate proportions and like a detailed background. That isn't a fair trade to me. And again, it's the artist's choice. If they want to accept a trade like that, that's perfectly okay. And if they don't want to, you do not get to tell them that they should. You do not get to tell them that they need to be more humble. I feel like if anyone needs to be more humble here, it's you, because you're so entitled that you think that everyone owes you something. And again, this is just one of those facets of maturity and self-improvement. It's something that's important for everyone. Everyone has things that they need to work on. This is normal. Nobody is perfect, but I think that finding what you need to improve on and working on it is kind of the key to happiness, and it's also a really good way to make sure that you actually are going to get along with people in your life. So, in sum, just people shouldn't be expected to accept trades, commissions, requests, anything from anyone, because nobody owes anyone anything. And that goes for you as well. You don't owe anyone anything either. You don't owe other people art either. And if someone declines your offer for an art trade, don't take it personally, because it's not about you as a person. It just means that they have a different preference. And you can keep trying, you can keep asking other people will accept, and as time goes on, you also will get better at art, and you'll probably find that more people will be willing to accept trades with you. So keep working and keep improving yourself, and let's all be the best people that we can be, okay? Thanks for listening, everyone, and I hope you understand where I'm coming from. I mean it with all due respect, but I feel like it's important to make sure that you are not trampling on the rights of others. This is one of those cases where I feel like it happened. So again, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you guys next time. Have a happy holiday, okay? Bye.